runners. Hope all of you doing well. Quite an exciting space from where to bring the next weekend message. This is, as you might have guessed, we are at the observatory deck of Empire State Building here in New York. Why don't you just span a little bit around and show you what the situation, how does it look like today? Maybe we can walk a little bit there and just actually show everyone how it looks like. Just walk around a little bit this side. Walk around and show the outside. Just walk this. Yeah, that's good. I mean, it's about in the evening, Friday evening, just getting family to visit this place. And last time we came here, I mean, I work in this building, and last time we came here was about almost 20 years ago. So this place is absolutely changed. It's a very wonderful place, and why I wanted to do this here is I think a couple of seasons ago I had visited Dubai and I had done a weekend message on top of Burj Khalifa. So thought, why not do on top of Empire State Building as well. So here you go. I hope you enjoyed the view as we talk about the message for this week. So first of all, congratulations for completing 2 full weeks of the regular season, which is great. What that really means is that you guys are slowly getting into a rhythm. And when we think about the season, and it's really a cool start for all of us, pun intended. So really proud of all of you too. I look at the survey and all of you are like trying your best to slowly get into the rhythm, which will give outsized dividend, because as you stick to it, your body just gets used to it. You wear the right clothing, and as we talked about it last weekend, just get into the rhythm, and then slowly things get a lot more easy than what it would be in the last couple of weeks. So what are we going to think about? So what I want to talk about today is a little bit double click more on the conversational pace space that we talked about, why that is important, and also talk a little bit about the train, which is the overall construct in which our season is sort of designed. So let's start with the first one, which is the conversational pace. So if you, for reminding what that is, it is a pace at which you run or walk, where your body is in an equilibrium, where you are able to have a regular conversation. That means you're not getting out of breath, your heart rate is not racing, you're just walking running at a pace where your body feels comfortable. Now, if you look at the same thing from a different angle, what really is happening in your body is what I call it as, there are 2 zones in which your body typically does these cardiovascular workouts. One is the aerobic zone and the other one is the anaerobic zone. And as the name suggests, aerobic zone means your body is having enough oxygen to take care of its day-to-day functions as well as what you are asking the body to do during running. And anaerobic zone is there is a bit of an oxygen deficiency, and thereby your body does a little bit of gasping. So from the context of training, the aerobic zone training is when your body is at a state of equilibrium where it has enough oxygen supply for it to take on this additional load, and when in that zone the body is not in a state of shock, or in other words, your body has the ability to sort of think about, hey, right now I'm being asked to do a little bit more work, and I'm kind of in the bit of a struggling situation, even though I'm able to manage it. So let me start doing something to improve the body's condition to take on this additional load. That reaction from the body in an aerobic zone is what we call it as the training effect, and that's really what we are trying to shoot for. We want to get some training effect so that your body starts building extra muscles, extra cardiovascular strength, aerobic strength. All of these things really come together to start getting your body more adept to take on longer distances, faster speed, etc. So that's why it's necessary for us to put the body in training under the aerobic zone condition. So when you're in the aerobic zone, then body is thinking, okay, let me start training. If you are running in the anaerobic zone, which is where you're panting and there is an oxygen deficiency, the body goes into a bit of a shock, because it feels that, oh my God, I need to protect myself because this is something I can't handle for a long time. And what the body does is it really goes into the shock mode. That means it sort of doesn't get the training effect. It really just goes into protection mode or in other words, there is not much of an improvement in your overall aerobic capacity to take on this load. So that's really what is happening, guys. And that's why when we ask you to do conversational base running, it really is to aid your body, aid your system to start improving your aerobic capacity so that you get the best out of the training effect that we are shooting for. And that is, it's incremental. That means it adds on whatever training effect you got last week, it gets added on. Let's assume that you went from 0 to 10 in terms of the aerobic capacity, the training effect. Next week when you do the same thing, it goes from 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40. That's how the body starts building its ability. And as you do that, the 3 mile that you were finding difficult last week will be a piece of cake this week. And then you do 4 miles, which might be slightly difficult this week. And then next week, 4 miles becomes easy. And then 5 miles is what is your next step. And before you know, you are on the start line of a half marathon or a full marathon or a 5K or a 10K. That's really what the larger thing that you're trying to shoot for. Okay, so be in the conversational pace. Your body will take care of what is needed for you to be doing really well 16 weeks or 14 weeks from now. So that's point number 1. The second thing is about the training train. What is that? So when you think about our 16-week journey, the metaphor that I normally use is you're literally taking a train from New York City Penn Station. Maybe you can even see Penn Station somewhere here. I think it's somewhere there. If you can see, that's where the Penn Station is, which is pretty interesting that I'm actually able to show that. But you start from Penn Station, and it's a non-stop train. Metaphorically, it's a non-stop train that starts from Penn Station and doesn't stop for anybody, and it just goes and stops. The final stop is at San Francisco, which is your starting line of the race. The quality of this train is such that 1, it doesn't stop for anybody, and 2, it slowly picks up speed. And your job, I'm your sort of ticket conductor. I've taken you all into this train and we've started moving. It's been 2 weeks now. The train started. It's still slow, but it's picking up pace. You're all sitting in the train right now. That is the training that you're doing. If you want this journey and if you want to reach San Francisco in the easiest possible way, all you need to do is just stay on the train. Don't allow the train to leave you. That means you're doing all the things that are necessary to be for that week. Just keep doing that. Check the box. Of course, 1 or 2 times here and there you might miss it, but largely you're doing everything that you're expected to do. As long as you do that, you are on the train, and the incremental requirement for you from first week to the next week will not seem big because you're already on the train. Relatively, the train is picking speed. You're also going a little extra with the speed, and you're slowly going away from New York and approaching San Francisco. But if you get out of the train for whatever reason, as I said, the train is not stopping for you. The train is continuing to move ahead, and you are seeing the train going ahead, and you're saying, you know what, I'll catch up next week. But the act of catching up requires a lot more effort to catch up because you're out of the train. So you need to do a little bit more, you need to catch up. And this catch up delta, if you allow that delta to go a little far, that's the end of your training. This is how your training fails, your season fails, because you let the train go ahead of you. And because the train is constantly picking up pace, the effort required to get back to the train is a lot more. And as a result, there will be a time when you realize that everybody is literally run away from you, pun intended, and you are staying back and watching the train go farther and farther away, and then you realize, you know what, this season I'm done. That is how people get out of a season, technically speaking. So my point is, as a coach, as your ticket conductor, the train driver, I can only tell you, as long as you are with me in the train, it's going to be quite easy for you to slowly, incrementally go from there. And before you know, you are in San Francisco, the start line of your race. Hope that makes sense. Have a wonderful weekend, and signing off from live, coming in from New York City. May not be live by the time you see this, but it is Friday night live from New York City, not Saturday night live. Take care, guys.